What's up? So who else ever had a problem with Billboard magazine lumping R&B and hip hop together on the charts? I was going through some sites and I was reading some things, and I just always dawned on me. And I've always felt that, listen, I grew up on hip hop, old school rap, different eras, different time. However, it's done in a way to cheapen R&B. You got rappers trying to sing, they're not really good at singers. Rappers trying to be producers, but not from the same technical aesthetic as R&B producers. And for the record, let's get this straight. There is no hip-hop producer equivalent to Quincy Jones. Stop with that nonsense. You cannot compare yourself to someone who produced film scores, jazz horn arrangements, and then work with the likes of Frank Sinatra to Michael Jackson, with the Tevin Campbell in between Aretha Franklin and Ray Charles. You just can't compare that. You're not going to see that landscape. You can be in the same room and spin a globe around and say, I've been around the world. Now, you can do that, but did you really go anywhere? Someone say they've been around the world as opposed to you flipping a goal and saying you've been. It's two different things. What's the same thing with this music thing? I do believe that the industry created hip-hop to destroy R&B music for the simple fact that it's watered down, it's definitely broken down in the community, and it's definitely been a divide with the language and the usage of different things. Not saying hip-hop in its defense from the entrepreneurship, but even that comes with an asterisk because a lot of it is just plantation. It's just dangling and get your masters, but at what you're doing, You gotta pay the cost to be the boss, but it's not really even being a boss. It's just pimping a lot of liquor, pimping a lot of an agenda. It's not about the musicality. I said it again. Hip hop ain't gonna never have no Michael Jackson. You know this. So game over. There's a lot you're never gonna have in hip hop. But if you get to eat off the buffet, it makes it look like it's equivalent to a steak meal. Depends on what you like to eat. See. But that is the manipulation that has been allowed to take place. Sadly to say. Hip hop was used as a means to destroy R&B music. Sampling and looping and everything. I'm not saying that rappers can't have talent, because you obviously got to have talent to create. But it's not the same as what R&B did. You ain't got no Smokey Robinson. You're not Smokey Robinson. You ain't writing no great songs. You're not creating these bodies of works. You're creating a moment in time. And it's been that way. It's been that way. It's been romanticized as a cheap way to pass and push an agenda. I've said it before and again. I have a problem with rappers who sample and making more money off the artists that they sample. The artists that they sample should be living. There's no reason why George Clinton, James Brown, Sly Stone, estates, people living, etc., Rick James estates, etc., shouldn't be in the Bill Gates neighborhood of finances. That's how much the sampling has done for the industry. Created incredible wealth and created this delusion for these acts that you see, but don't have the same musicality, or also didn't put in the same kind of work, you see. And why is it they've allowed that? You don't see rock music or country music have to share their charts with pop. They don't have to be accepting to share this, but R&B has to accept hip hop. Why is that? And why do they label them like that? Why? And why they making R&B music sound like your grandpa or granny music? Why? They never respected it. They never respected funk music. They've always labeled, and you got to ask yourself why black bands were phased out by the government, etc., and why they don't get their same respect as their white counterparts, And I can go on and on about it. I've never liked the fact that R&B and hip hop were linked together on the charts and Billboard. But they all think we all the same and all act the same and have the same thing. That's what they've done. That's what they've done to create the street cred because they run it like that. That's what they think of you. How do you feel about R&B and hip hop being linked together on the charts and what have you? And do you find it offensive? Do you think they should have their own separate lanes? I always think they should have their own separate lanes. They don't do that to white genres or so-called in Billboard magazine. Why do they do it to R&B? Please hit the like, subscribe, or welcome thoughts and comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another, and it's always important that you remember where the foundation comes from, because there's been a lot of generation raised without knowing the truth and thinking that the sample and the loop is the original, and they've done that on purpose to whitewash and brainwash and take out the real. I'm out.